In this example, like I said, we're going to go back and look at bearings. So actually, if you feel like you need to revise bearings yourself, then you should pause the video and do that. It actually would be a good idea to pause the video, read through this really well, see if you can come up with a diagram, even if you write it on another piece of paper, just so you've got some feedback yourself about where you're at with your real understanding of bearings. How well did you learn bearings back? That was quite a few exercises ago now. And this will be a test to see how well you actually did learn it back then. So it should be just a quick revise of a few concepts. Otherwise, you need to really sort out the things about bearings that you're still not comfortable with and confident with, and jot them down and make sure you ask me about them. Okay, so you can see that I've drawn my north, south, east and west. Catherine leaves the town. Here's Catherine ending up down here. She travelled on a bearing of 163. 163 comes between 90 and 180, so she's come down here in this quadrant for 27 kilometres. Clinton travels on a bearing of 274, just past west. Remember, west is 270. So 274 is up here in this top left-hand quadrant and travels for 15 kilometres. How far apart are they? So the red line indicates their distance apart. Now that's a little bit messy, so I suggest that you take your triangle out of there. So I'm going to redraw the triangle. So I've moved it over here and I've made it into, I think, approximately the triangle as reflected from the, as taken from the bearings diagram. We've actually got all three sides involved. Now, since D is the side that we're finding, we know that we need to find the size of this angle here. Now, that's this one in here. Now, what we know about that is to come around to this line, which is part of our triangle now, it travels through a total of 274 degrees. We don't want this amount. We don't want the 163. So that's been taken off. So our angle, which I will call, actually, I suppose strictly speaking it should be D, because I've called that D. No, let's call it C. Sorry. We said we'd call the sides and angles C. So our angle C would be our full 274, but we want to take off the 163 because that's now not part of 274, and we get that that is what, 1, 1, 1. So now I can write my cosine rule. All three sides are involved and we're given one angle, and that is, and so you can see there I've done 15 squared, 27 squared, 2 times 15 times 27 times cos 111, and don't forget to close the bracket, equals 1244. Now remember, that has, since I pressed equals, that's been recorded as my answer. I would need to take the square root of that, square root of my answer, and I've got 35.274. And to the nearest 0.1 of a kilometre, 0.1 of a kilometre, that would be 35.3 kilometres. You should be right now to do the questions from that exercise.